Thank you for having me.
I know we took a little break, but we're back for happy hour healing.
We are.
Yeah. So we're going to talk about the anatomy of triggers, how to read your emotional GPS.
Exactly. Yes. And yes, thank you for all being here. And triggers, that's a very important topic. I think everybody here, whoever is listening or will listen at some point, can relate to this. We all, as beings, we are always faced with some type of triggers, so long as we are in a relationship with somebody else that will stimulate these things. And so today is all about helping helping ourselves really understand where those triggers come from, and understanding ourselves better, being more aware of ourselves, and looking forward to having questions if you have any to be answered. And yeah, so
I know we've got some people coming in. We'll wait and see if we get a question on the chat in a few minutes. But
yeah.
yeah, I know. Do you feel like this is coming up in your private sessions, this topic?
Absolutely, absolutely. These are I think over the last maybe 10 years or so, even more than that, you know, forever. I think since we've been alive, we don't ever, we can't ever get away from how we respond. Well, respond is good, but react to situations, right? I mean, I'm sure so long as we've had a life before this point, meaning we've experienced life, we would have roots from where these triggers really come about. And we'll
Right.
talk a little bit today about what kinds of triggers, and what are the ways in which we all of us have tended to react, not how we react necessarily now. And I think as we keep evolving, whether you're doing spiritual work or not, but just by virtue of growing up, um, we understand ourselves more. And when we understand ourselves more, we then begin to see those repetitive patterns that show up, and how we react, how we respond. And even in the reactions, there are small, minuscule sort of shifts that can happen in that whole space as well. So we'll talk a little bit more about that as we move along. And then at the end, if we have time, I would love to have you all go through a small little healing. Um, so just to because I know when we speak also, the vibrations can come through, uh, and maybe you may have releases. Releases are something that even when we converse, when we've done one-on-one sessions too, or group sessions too, what happens is we're communicating, and now I can't see you all, but intuitively I know who are the people that may be listening now or will listen later. And so, as a collective, because these are things that are happening pretty much across the board, across the globe, right? So we'll see how we can help you all, each one, identify these triggers, and maybe give you some sort of a roadmap to take you all in within, and then sense it and let it go. It's all about letting go, right? It's all about letting go. So,
Yeah. Yeah, we
yeah.
don't have any questions yet. But I had a little trigger this week. It was an email that came through and it was to a group.
Yeah.
And instead of like getting really jacked up about it, I just, I think that I've learned to just sit and like, instead of getting mad about this issue, ask myself, why is this trigger? Why is this even bothering
Mhm.
me?
Yes, that's a very good place to start, is why is it happening? And a lot of times, people can look at a trigger. Like, for example, one example is somebody, and so this actually happened to somebody I'm working with. She mentioned that she had some family members showing up at her house. And um, that situation created tremendous angst and tremendous anxiety in her, to the degree of full on panic attack. where she could not breathe and she felt tightness in the chest. She felt something happening in her abdomen. She felt jittery. And and then that's when she texted me and she said, I don't know what's going on. Why am I feeling this way? How can I stop this from happening? And this is a repetitive pattern, happens every single time when these two people show up in my life. And it's nothing that they're saying. It's just their mere presence can elicit this type of, you know, reaction in my body or in me. She didn't say body, but in me. And she asked, why is this happening? She's just recently started working with us, Energies and Me. And so the first thing we were able to tell her on text was, um, you mentioned all of these symptoms. These are the different symptoms that you're experiencing in your body. Is this the first time that you're feeling this, or you're recognizing it now for the first time? And she said, yes, since we started working together. I'm beginning to recognize that these things are happening, because before my mind just goes so fast, it runs amok, and I'm unable to calm it down, to center it. The first thing I was able to tell her was that she needed to pause and just actually not just recognize those symptoms that are happening in the body, but to pause enough, not try to push it away, because that's it's just going to make it come back even stronger. So to really pause and allow herself to feel it in the body. So I walked her through it as it was happening in real time. And she said, yes, I could feel it here. And she mentioned all of those different areas in the body where she was feeling it. And I said, okay, can you feel that now? And she says, yes, but I don't exactly know where it's coming from. So then intuitively, we were able to sort of identify that and bring that awareness into the specific areas and say, okay, you felt a tightness in the chest, right? She said, yes, so tight I can barely breathe. So we were able to tell her, okay, so what happened at a specific timeline, in a specific time in her life? And we were able to identify that and say, what we're understanding is this is the time frame when a situation occurred in your life. Is that true? And she said, yes. And we said, okay, well, you don't have to go through it again, because it was very, very traumatic for her. So we said, you don't have to go through it again. But since we know exactly where it is, we can identify it. When you feel it, I'm going to zap energy into it. Right? So it's a collaborative work. So she's feeling it, we're zapping energy at the same time, and she's able to see it set free. That's the key. Is the longer you kind of feel it in your body, the more you can sink into it. And you may not have answers. It's okay, because Monica cannot be available every time it happens, and it may happen multiple times a day, right? So the key is about giving you all tools to manage this on your own, enough to just know what to do. So feeling it in the body, sensing it long enough, and noticing that it slowly feels, the body feels heard, because triggers are not really there to shun it or push it away, but really to pay attention to it, because these triggers hold keys to what it is within us, within ourselves, that needs to be moved out, shifted. Energy, right? We can't delete the energy, we can only move it. So once we release it and remove it, in a sense of pushing it away, but not really pushing it in the sense of pushing it as in, I don't want to listen to it, and that it's coming back to me again. But no, in the sense of paying attention to it, feeling it, and then not being attached to it. A lot of the times, what people don't understand is that they're actually attaching to it, and they don't know how to unattach. And so in our work, we actually talk about, and we work with them, people, on how to really create that little bit of a detachment.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
that's such a beautiful way to explain it. Because I think, like, a lot of times you hear about, anxiety. You're hearing a lot about anxiety around mental health, and it's not to not have it, because the anxiety comes on, and it's almost like a vehicle
It
to move you forward in some direction or another. I feel like, So those things aren't necessarily bad. The triggers are just information.
Yes, yes, absolutely, yes. It's information and it's also direction. It's also that
Mhm.
GPS we talked about. It's kind of that roadmap that leads us to something within ourselves that we haven't given much attention to,
Mhm.
right? Because we run through life through certainly I'm guilty of that as well. We go from thing to thing to thing to thing because it's all these things are important. Prioritizing is very important also in our lives, but we tend to run through life, and so much of this whole, if you look at the wholeness of each of our lives, from there's always been something that we have to look forward to, that you know if we are in kindergarten, we're looking forward to being in first grade. If we're in first grade, we're looking forward to graduating from high school, and then so on. There's always something that is always grabbing our attention,
Mhm.
and very, very, very rarely we find that we can actually pause and breathe and really, really take the time to just do nothing. And in
Mhm.
these moments when we do nothing is when we can actually pay attention to our bodies, not just physically, though,
Mhm.
physical, emotional, mental, and
Mhm.
spiritual. All these bodies have to be worked through in tandem
Mhm.
and the isolation in tandem. And when they all work together like that, it is immensely helpful to each one,
Mhm.
because it's so less talked about. And the spiritual aspects of our lives are even more important, I feel, than everything else we're doing on a physical level.
Mhm.
We take good care of our bodies, we really exercise, we do the yogas, and we do all these other things, and they're important. But very, very few people can say with great certainty that they're really paying attention to their spiritual health as well. It's very
Mhm.
important.
Yeah. They are, I think they are all interconnected for
Yeah.
sure.
There seems to be a question here.
Oh, really? All right.
Um, how can we be made to remember that most people don't even intend to trigger us, and that it's most about them than us? That's a great question.
Mhm.
Um, the answer is kind of twofold in this. Part of it, in your question also, it's two answers. Two things you've asked about are both important, meaning um, part of it is related to us, part of it is related to the other person. But the fact that another person comes in our path, this is very counterintuitive, but
Mhm.
it's important for us to talk about it. So the fact that somebody else shows up in our life that elicits that brings out that that reaction in us, that means that we hold that same quality within us. That's the first step. The second step is it could be very well coming from that other person. But if we are reacting, that means we're holding that same energy, emotion, trauma,
Mhm.
whatever it might be, in within us as well. So then I guess you're wondering, how do we then not react, and how do we not get triggered? Right? That's the big question. How do we not get triggered? But you don't necessarily have to not get triggered. You can get triggered, but you don't have to react.
Yeah. Yeah.
You can get triggered because the trigger, as Wendy, you said, the trigger can also bring us information
Mhm.
about ourselves,
Yeah.
right? So the triggering is not a bad thing necessarily, but it's how
Mhm.
we react to it is probably something we need to work on. Because if we constantly react, one of the big things that a lot of the times we don't recognize is that when we do get triggered, what is really happening behind the scenes?
Mhm.
Most people, when they get triggered, what they don't recognize, the mind is doing it. The mind is the one that reacts. What the mind also does behind the scenes is that the mind is already behaving in a way that it is defensive.
Mhm.
So if you take any example, if you can remember the last time you got triggered, when you mentioned you had an email that came in earlier, and you would have ordinarily felt very triggered, but maybe you didn't react quite that at that high level the
Mhm.
way that you normally would have, because maybe you felt something and you paused, and you went in a little bit and said, okay, this is the one that this person rubs me the wrong way, or this person says this that gets under my skin and makes me react in a certain way. So if you can identify the back end work, which is, why am I defending myself when this person says this? Most people live life in a state of total defense, like playing basketball, always defending and not making any points on that scoreboard, constantly defending. So no one's scoring now.
No, I
The
know.
game is about putting those points on the board, but maybe no one's scoring at all, because one is defending and the other one is trying to make those points go up on the board. But I'm just taking light of it, but really it's all about, why am I reacting in a certain way? Why am I defending myself? It's because the ego gets razzled up. It's because the ego feels that the person on the other side is maybe questioning the integrity, or questioning, or devaluing that person, whoever is the one, whoever it is who gets triggered,
Yeah.
right? So these are the basic things that you can just pay attention to within yourself. Is in, why do I react this way? It could be that you just need to work on your own self-esteem. Maybe it's because you feel less than. Maybe your mind is comparing quickly, instantly comparing to that other person, or that other person has something that you need within yourself. For example, if other person is more confident, more outgoing, more friendly than you think you are, that person comes in your path, and it hyper accentuates what is within you that feels shortchanged or feels less than. These are the many ways in which we feel triggered.
Yeah.
Other in the case of this other person I was working with this past week, she talked about two people coming into her home, and these are the same people that she had an experience with, where they were on the receiving end of this other person who was traumatizing them. So when that person comes in this lady's path, these two people, her body, it remembers sometimes. Maybe it's her mind that remembers that feeling of abuse that was injected, that was sent into this person. So these are the people, not her necessarily, but
Yeah.
they come to her space, and it's almost like they're all of them are reacting to the same behavior that was in sort of brought on to them. And that's hard, very hard,
It is.
because the mind just remembers these things. It's very hard. But we'll give you some tools in how to recognize this for yourself, and then to let it go.
Yeah.
Let it
There's
go.
another question coming in. What about anger and its shades and fear? Could you speak about these some?
Yeah, thank you for your question. Anger. Yes, so anger, let's work with anger first. So anger is, again, it's very much connected to what we just spoke about earlier, which was about how the mind and the ego gets bruised. So it gets bruised, but it's also stored in these energy bodies. So many a times, when our bodies, physical bodies specifically, feels like there's a reaction happening, like when someone gets angry, what is the first thing? You may get flushed in the face, the body reacts rather. You may get flushed in the face, you may have your heart racing, you may feel a little bit like you know sort of an electrical current that runs through the body. Maybe some people have responded in a such a way that they just get agitated. Fear comes on, because so that's anger, but fear can come on partly because you feel as if you're just left out, or you feel like you know you're attached to a specific outcome. The outcome is not panning out in the way you want it, and you try to control. Fear and control also can play a key role in how you are feeling or manifesting that fear in you. The controlling, trying to fixate on an outcome. And if the outcome is not exactly what you want it to be, then you feel that deep fear within,
Yeah.
right? So your question is, what about anger and its shades? Yeah. The shades of anger, yes, there's so many of them, right? It's so hard for us to identify them, but yeah, there's so many of these shades that we encounter in a given day, in a given hour too. Like if you are triggered, right? Anger will just it's like a bubbling, like a effervescent bubbles coming up, except it's not fun. You're getting really shifted out of sync, right? So the easiest way to work with that is to take deep breaths. It's an easy way to do it. Taking slow, deep breaths and really bringing yourself back to the calm state. Because if you're working from anger, you're not going to get anything done, right? Nothing will work as planned. Even within yourself, even if you're trying to, project an outcome, it's not going to work right. You just have to be calm. Before you can do anything, the baseline, we need to have you really, really calm down.
Yeah.
And in that calm state, then the second step would be first breathing. The second step would be to detach from that situation.
Yeah.
How does one detach from that situation, person, specifically when you have a um, some type of a connection, an emotional tie with somebody? Most people get triggered when there's some sort of a emotional tie to that person, right? You won't get triggered if you don't have an emotional tie to that person or situation or something within you. There's always that connection. The separation is important. Detachment is important because we get triggered mostly when we are latching on to something or someone or some situation, right? So that's why that detachment is important. And if we don't detach enough, no matter what is happening in the world around you, if you're driving on the highway, cars are, coming into your pathway, or they're honking, or someone's parked on the side that they shouldn't be parked on a curb or on a median or wherever else. And it's natural for us to get agitated about that. And if you feel that somebody else is, behaving in ways that it's just, triggering you because maybe you've done that at some point, or maybe you just think it's wrong to do that. That's a big trigger, right? And you get angry. So why does one get angry when somebody else behaves in ways that you don't approve of? Maybe that's it. It's an approval thing. So once again, the judgment comes along. So are we judging? First question is, are we judging somebody? Are we judging ourselves? Judgment is a big part of that anger.
You see it on the road a lot, like you were talking about, like road rage. I mean,
Yeah,
it's real.
it's real. It's true. And it's partly because they themselves don't want people to behave in ways that they somehow see themselves behaving at, or may have behaved at some time, at some point. And that just, it just, you know, it
My
just,
sister used to have, I mean, I don't know if she still does. I haven't talked about it in a while, but like she worked at the firm and she would come in and she was so flustered and she would be, it was every day. I mean, this guy this and this employee, this woman, but I mean, I mean, it used to kind of crack me up.
yeah.
But
And that's the good ways. If you get upset, then let yourself crack up.
yeah.
Maybe instantly it's a, you know, shut down of your own system, and that may be where the detachment comes from,
Yeah.
the separation comes from. And that's so important for us to not be, because everything that happens in our life that's outside of us, this is the big one. Write this down, everybody. Everything that happens in our life, someone else is doing something at all given times, right? It does not warrant a reaction from me or you or anybody, the person who's observing it. If you can be more, quote unquote, the observer,
Yeah.
that would be amazing. It's like the sky, and then the clouds are passing through. The sky doesn't agitate every time the clouds pass, it just observes it. So, just like that, if we can look at thoughts and look at things that are happening in our world like a passing cloud, and we're just observing it. Can we observe something without really reacting, without responding, without judging
Or
or
apologizing.
apologizing?
Yeah. I mean, I don't really, I say for like the words like I'm sorry, they're for something really important.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't call you right back, or
Yeah.
all of that kind of minutia. I mean, no, I'm not going to apologize. I mean, I didn't for a reason, right?
Yeah, yeah,
But
yeah. Yes.
I've learned like when you're more observant, there's just less to say.
Exactly. Silence becomes very golden.
Mhm.
And it is so, so golden. In fact, this is funny, but, people that know me will say that I don't like to watch TV. I don't even know how to run the remote control on. And my kids and my husband will always tease me about it. How easy, how hard is it for you to press two buttons to get that cable going on? Part of it is I don't even want to put it on the
Mhm.
TV. But my husband has to watch TV every night because he needs to know what's going on in the world. Do I need to know what's going on in the world? I don't know. Maybe I don't. Maybe I do. I don't know. I don't deliberately put the TV on. So when he puts the TV on, usually at nights, I feel like I can actually tune it out. I'm there with him watching it, but I'm not really quote unquote watching it, or I'm
Mhm.
not quote unquote listening to it. And if I'm listening to it, I don't feel I need to respond to it or react to it.
Yeah.
I'm usually silent. He watches it. I'm with him physically there. He's watching it. I'm watching it. We're watching it. But no matter what's happening, I
And
feel that calmness.
I know, I think that's amazing that you can be still in that. And
Yeah.
it's training. But I don't pay attention to I don't watch, I used to be a news, in my 20s, I was kind of like a news junkie. And then my ex-husband was in media and he
Yeah.
had to do show prep. So I would get that. But then I just learned the news is going to walk right in the door.
Correct.
I mean, you're going to hear, like, if I picked up the phone and talked to a client, there's automatically a conversation that's going to happen. I don't know. You just kind of know. I mean, there's a couple website I would comb just to
Yeah.
be in the know, but yeah.
Yeah. And so that's another space where most people could get triggered is when they watch news.
Hmm.
They're watching, world happenings and, and it's easy. I call it the lab space, laboratory. All the things that could go wrong, all the things. If you really want to get triggered, you just have to put the TV on and you're in that space or watch movies or whatever, depending what movies you end up watching. But anyway, talking about movies, have you seen the new movie, Michael Jackson?
Oh, I mean, so I went with my nephew and I was dancing in. I danced out, and then they took pictures of me like underneath when he was pointing, and then
Yeah,
yeah, it was so good.
it was so good. It
You
was
know,
like,
I'm a big fan. I mean,
yeah,
there's
and Ben too, right?
so much history about Michael Jackson because of
Yeah,
Ben. Uh,
and Ben, your son
mhm,
was a
mhm,
big, huge fan. I remember that. Yeah,
mhm.
that's awesome. Yes, no, I mean those movies, those kinds of fun things, infusing. Many a times, and this I have to just throw this up. Many a times when people think that they're doing quote unquote spiritual work, right? We take out the fun in it, but the fun is an important element of our
Mhm.
lives. We have got to infuse few fun and humor in our lives. It can be serious, but it can also be fun, or we can also actually fuse that.
Mhm.
So when a trigger comes along, laugh. Can you not? Can we all laugh about it and sometimes self-deprecating humor is also fun. I'm kidding, but
Oh, no,
not
it's
too
true.
much. But it's fun. It's fun
My
to do that.
grandmother she used to have I think about her so much, but she used to say, you might as well laugh as well cry.
Exactly,
And
right?
I
Why
think
not?
about that so much.
Because I think we take life too seriously. Do you not agree? I think
Mm.
I think more here in the work culture in the United States can be so, everybody's so serious. Everybody's so serious. So it's fun when we can be a little, laughing a little bit more and bring infusing joy in our lives and, make humor and be silly. It's okay to be silly sometimes too.
I know. I was on a
Yeah.
call with a team I'm working with, and these are really the team's amazing. They're like top in all their fields, and we're all coming together working on something. And we all were going to say a word at the end, and I said play.
Hmm.
I said, I'm not worried about all of you doing work and getting your work done,
Yeah.
but can we have some fun? And
Yeah.
it was kind of like they were like, oh yeah, like I forgot to have fun, kind of.
Or it can be sometimes an afterthought.
Yeah,
Yeah.
mhm.
I know. Right.
Yeah, it's kind of funny.
Yeah. And any more questions? Anybody? I'm sure there are others here listening or, you know, um, great questions, by the way. Both questions were really, really amazing. And I hope we were able to answer your questions. Your questions were great. So if you have any follow-up questions or would like to, you know anything or share anything, we're here. Both
Mhm.
of us are here, Wendy and I, and happy to answer questions.
I know. Yeah, it's about 5:30. Monica, did you say you wanted to do a practice or a meditation?
Yeah, I'd love to do that. I'd love to do that. Just want to make sure that we have covered the ground. And if there's anything, Wendy, if you have any questions also that you think, audience would like to know
Mhm.
about in terms of triggers and how do we, we talked about the GPS. So we talked about the roadmap. The roadmap is first to pause and then to just feel the body. Learning about somatic understandings and how we can really pay closer attention to ourselves within. So the world is outside, the world is always outside. It's also outside of us. So when the trigger comes, we feel like we're getting pulled outside again because
Mhm.
it's happening on the outside. But so what I feel is most beneficial is if you can pause and give a this is something really funny too. When we work with our little kids, when our children are little, we have what's known as the 5 second rule. When something falls on the floor and they want to pick it up to eat it like a lollipop or something, and they'll be like, oh, they just want to pick it up quickly and then put it in their mouth. And we'll say, okay, 5 second rule. If it's more than 5 seconds, you got to chuck it. Uh, so I have been asked by the energies to create this 5 second rule about we increase it to 10 seconds, 20 seconds before we react. So something happens, pause, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And if you wait for 10 seconds or even 20 seconds, you'll realize that you don't even need to respond or
Yeah.
react. You just have to buy yourself time. What happens a lot of the times is that we are so quick to, the mind wants to nip it quickly, want to respond to it quickly, so react to it quickly. But we just need to pause enough. And as you said earlier, Wendy, you said something to that point, which was we don't even need to respond, or we don't even need to react. Sometimes silence is so golden.
Mhm.
So if you let it just be and you don't react, and when you go back to it, you feel like that urge is still there to respond, then do
Mhm.
so. But when you do it that time, you will recognize, you will know that it's taken the edge away. Because if you had responded or reacted immediately after the trigger occurred,
Mhm.
then that person may not be able to take back those words because you will react in a state of anger.
Mhm.
Make sense? So the pausing, the separation, the detachment a bit can be super helpful.
Yeah.
And this is something that we've found time and time and time again is to pause before you jump,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah. Just
Yeah,
like hit the pause button. I mean, it's yeah.
exactly. Exactly. Hit the pause button and wait. And then if you feel the need to react later, then do that. At least then it'll be more of a
Mhm.
response and less of a reaction,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
And then, whatever comes within, you will feel it in your body. So this is a lesson also to understand not just the physical body. So when I say body, people say, "Oh, do I need to know how do I even decode?" It's about a little bit about decoding.
Mhm.
When our bodies are triggered, and it's because we've been going through repetitive experiences.
Mhm.
Or it could be that you've had a one experience, a bad one, like maybe in childhood, maybe in your 20s or something. Or maybe it didn't happen to you. Maybe you experienced it by virtue of somebody else going through it, like a second hand.
Mhm.
But it's made a lasting effect on you. Maybe. An example could be in the case of that other example I gave you before, this lady I was working with, she felt that when she was young, 8 or 9 years old, she saw one of her family members being abused by somebody else. And so every single time now, there's a show she's watching on TV or she's around somebody else and that is happening. It didn't happen to her necessarily, but she was on the, she's the one who observed the situation.
Mm-hmm.
But she played those tapes enough in her mind that it's created a hardened impression, like an imprint in the body. So even though she didn't go through it herself, every time, now it's gotten to the point at which even if these people show up, they didn't do anything to her, but they show up in her path, her body reacts like that.
Mm-hmm.
It's like the same feeling of allergy, let's say somebody ate shrimp sometime or peanuts or something, and then had an allergic reaction, an anaphylactic reaction to that. And that happened only once though. Any other time somebody else brings up the word shrimp or even peanuts, what happens? The body just
Mm-hmm.
reacts like that.
Mm-hmm.
That's what happens in triggers typically.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so the best way is for us to pause. And when we pause, the brain gives the signal to the body, you're safe. It's part of lack of safety sometimes.
Yeah.
And anger comes from that too, not feeling safe.
There's another question, Monica, from Mike. Are some people masters of triggers and use that to get under people's skin by triggering others? I mean, I do think that's true. I think
Yes,
there is some validity to that.
absolutely, absolutely. Some people thrive
Mhm.
on, I've met certainly people like that. They thrive on, working up a good argument,
Mhm.
and that's so true. They do, and they probably should be lawyers. I don't know.
Well, no.
No, I'm kidding. But they like a good argument sometimes,
Yeah.
and they just like to razzle people up sometimes.
Mhm.
But I think what Michael is saying is that the trigger could be that if sometimes they have brought up that emotion in you,
Mhm.
they feel some good, they get some jolly from repeating that same reaction
Mhm.
over and over and over in somebody,
Yeah. So sometimes I flip
right?
it. Like I'll
Mhm.
say, "Nice play, John."
Yeah, nice
You know,
play, or yeah,
nice play, whatever. Yeah, and so, they're gonna get a reaction, but it's not gonna be what exactly they, and it kind of it nulls it for me,
yeah,
you know?
it can null it. Yes, you can say that, or you can say, nice try, nice try, but it's not doing anything for me because if they are sort of feeling that reaction repeatedly from you, like you're giving that reaction repeatedly, then what happens is they're like, great, I got it, I got her, or yes, she's responding the way I want it to be. This is what I want her to do. But you just like let go. You separate from that situation. There
Mhm.
are other techniques in how to separate from that situation.
Yeah,
It's another question. Yeah.
yeah. Why does
I
it hard okay, you wanna go ahead?
No, no, you go, please. You go.
Why does it harden for some and for others, they are pretty loose? Is it the quality of the mind? Is it in our hearts, or I'm sorry, is it in our hands to change? It almost feels like a survival principle to me. Is that correct?
Yeah, so yes, so survival, yes. So it is true. It is survival mechanism. How we or you or somebody has had these experiences happen, and it's the ways in which the mind has learned to cope with it. But it's not really coping. It's more like that reaction. It always has that same reaction. So now we've got to go in there and halt it, not pause it, but actually hard stop,
Mm-hmm.
because the brain, and it comes also, this is a very good question you're asking, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
It comes from, quote unquote, an untrained mind. The mind has figured it out on its own. It's untrained. So we've got to train it in such a way that we want it to behave a specific way.
Mm-hmm.
It's the untrained mind is like a runaway train. It just does its own thing, right? So when we do this type of work, what it does is the energies will uh, send energy to that space, the mind too. The shifting, and we've done several other episodes in this exact space, is how do we move from mind head, mind to heart. The mind is like a laboratory. It's like the laboratory we talked about earlier. It's always finding faults. It's always doing things, it's judging, it's angry, it's this, it's that. It's doing these things through the quote unquote untrained mind. So is the quality of the mind? Yes, it's the quality of the mind. You're absolutely right. And is it in our hands to change? It's not in our hands to change, so to speak. It's more like we've got to zap it with energy. Because if you keep telling it to stop doing it, it's not going to listen. The ego's job is to always be in charge.
Yeah.
The only way it can shut down is one step is to get into the heart. Step two, zap energy into it. So we literally remove the control. So if you are a kind of person like likes to control, the mind is the one that actually is doing it. It's not you. It's not you. Many a times people will say this, oh, Monica, she loves control, or he loves control. He's a controlling person, or she's a controlling person. And I say, well, not exactly. It appears like that. It's the mind that is controlling. He is not, she is not. It's the mind that it's the ego actually that tends to want control
Yeah.
over other people, right? So recognizing these patterns are very important, and putting the mind in its rightful place. Say, go for a walk. Go. It's like go, just go. Don't come back, because that is where a lot of our life goes a little topsy turvy.
Yeah.
Is when the ego has too much of a hold on us.
Yeah. So another part to her question, this kind of training is not taught anywhere. Therapy does not cover it.
Yeah, you're right. It doesn't. And that's why this type of work is helpful, because we're working with direct channeling. We're working with energies that are sort of overseeing all of you as a whole, almost like an umbrella. It knows, you can see in each one what are the specific triggers. So the same trigger that Wendy has may not be the same trigger I have, or the same trigger somebody else has. They're very custom, and it's related to something that we've either been through, we've personally been through, or we watch somebody else go through it, or it can also be this. Yes, I'm complicating it. I'm making it even more complex, but it's true. Previous lifetimes, our lifetimes, also from previous ancestors, our ancestors who've been on this earth before. Energies can even see that. It's very specific. And it's able to identify exactly from where it's coming. What is the lineage? Why is it that we are feeling that now?
Yeah.
Why is it that we are experiencing? I was with another client about a month ago, 2 months ago actually, and had never met this person in the flesh ever. It was a Zoom session, and when she came online, we were able to identify within fifths of seconds that there was some connection with this person's um, paternal side of the family. Yeah. And how, from that space, this woman who's dealing with life now, she had these chronic issues in the physical body, in the spinal column, actually. And she had it forever. To the place right now where she was debilitated, like incapacitated, could not move really. And when we identified, energies were able to identify it, she said, it makes perfect sense, because when we brought that person's name up, with not a person's name, but brought it up from the lineage of the father's side, her paternal side, and brought up that relative, specific relative, and she said, oh my gosh, Monica, I don't know how you would have known this, but this is exactly that person who had exhibited these kinds of aches or pains, but we were able to feel that pain coming from a previous ancestor. And through that, how it was impacting other members of her family, that she had to pause to recognize that it was actually true. It's fascinating. I mean, these energies are just, they know everything. It's like an umbrella. It knows everything about everybody. There's really a thing like that. In the, you all must have heard about the Akashic records. And while it's like in the space, it's in it's Akash is space really. and it's in the space somewhere, and some of us have that ability to sort of tap into it. And of course, for me, as you all know, it came from a near death experience, and then this ability just showed up through the light, through the divine light, and now the energies are able to sort of see in each one.
So you want to hear something funny? We'll go back to Michael Jackson for a second.
Yeah.
So I think I heard this along the way, and I don't know if it was from the Prince side or Michael Jackson side, but I'm going to use it from the Michael Jackson side. That they were recording an album, and he called all the people and called them into the studio at like 2 o'clock in the morning. So they all go into the studio, and they're like, "Why did you call us in here? It was 2 o'clock in the morning." He said, "Because I got it from the field, and if we don't do it, Prince is going to get it."
Yeah, right.
But it's now it's like it's the morphogenic field. Am I saying that right? Like, I mean, now there's actually science that is learning about this and putting like real words, more tangible words that people
Yeah,
can understand. So, I think it's fascinating. The information is there,
it is
and
there. It is
I think
clearly
we're
there.
learning as a species here in this time to open up to receive it.
Absolutely.
We weren't taught that I think it
No,
was always there. Um,
it is
but
always there. But see, right now, as we've spoken this many times before in our podcast earlier on, which is humanity is ready at this point to expand, expanding consciousness, but expanding every aspect of us. And the awareness and the knowing that we all have this ability, we're born with this. It's really not something, just because it opened up for Monica doesn't mean it's only meant for her and a few others. Every one of us has this ability. It's about getting to that place though, to become an open channel. And the way we can open up is by releasing all of those old karmic debt that we're carrying with us. We all have these debts. DEBT, DET, debts, Yeah, so that kind of debt. And once we can connect to that and tap into that and release that slowly, and this is what we do in this work, is we're constantly releasing it. So very lovingly, I call myself the cleaning lady. Come in and clean up everybody's energies. So those energies sometimes become very hardened. Someone else brought it up as, why is it hardened? Yeah, it hardens up, and it crystallizes in our space, and that flow is disrupted. So this work is all about alignment, bringing you all to a state of alignment, and then transitioning from mind, head to heart. And through the heart, the heart is like that gateway, or maybe like a portal. If you can look at it like a portal that helps us see through. But the heart is not just one little heart like that. It's got layers, and it's got deep layers. It's literally, it's like going into a cave, into a dark cave that you don't really know where it's going to end. You just keep going because you go in with a degree of faith and a degree of trust. You just keep going in. And the deeper you go in, this is how the heart is. The deeper you go into that heart, right? It's pitch dark, remember. But as you keep going deeper and deeper and deeper, that light that you hold within you explodes. It opens up. And that's that light that is so amazing. That's that light that each one of us needs to reveal, unleash, because that's through that light, everybody is able to be on that receiving end. You're that candle, someone else is the candle, someone else's candle, and we can go and light everybody else's candle. So this is where we are all destined to go, spreading that light that we all have within us and recognizing that we do. And those triggers are just small little disruptions. We don't want to make that the focus, but we had to talk about it today. Energy said we had to talk about it today because once we get past that, each of you are able to get past that, you'll be able to sort of, reach where we have to go. We're all here to walk. Somebody said that, walk each other home.
yeah,
True. We're all here in this journey together.
cross down. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Famous.
we're all in here to reach that place of home, which Monica experienced through the near death experience. She went home and came back. So that home is that beautiful place, and a big table is waiting for us to go there. But before we even get there, though, we can get there. We don't have to literally go there. It's within. We can get there here, right here now, and it exists within each one of you. It's only a matter of remembering that, not
Mm-hmm.
even doing anything, remembering that. And how do we remember that? That's why this work is important to get you all to that place.
Monica, someone said you were amazing. I erased my question that was asking you this.
Oh, thank you. The energies are amazing. Thank you.
And then another to the question before, another chat. When we say energies there, is this source consciousness energy? Can I call the heart energy of love and oneness? Or can I call it the heart energy of oneness?
Yeah, that's a
Okay.
good place to start. Yes, you can definitely call it the heart energy of love and oneness. But the only little correction I would make is unconditional love. I'd add an un before love because it's really truly about being unconditionally loving. This is something that we don't experience so much in this world, but in the dying experience and coming back again, that unconditional love exists and it's so powerful. It's really, really powerful. And more we can all develop that within ourselves and, as we share it with others also. That's the key to making the world the way it's meant to be, better place. So, yeah.
Sure. Well, Monica, do you have time to take us into a meditation?
Yes,
We
yes,
end?
yes, yes. Yeah, this is the second time you've asked me, and we'll dive in right now. Let's do it. Let's do it. So, if you are seated, that's fine. If you want to lie down, that's fine too. It's a short meditation. Um, we are going to be really, really relaxing. And today is a special day, very special day, because it's also the full moon, full blue moon healing. It's one, so this is special because it's uh, two full moons in May, and it doesn't happen regularly. So it's a very, very special day. So our healing will also be very special. We know that. Okay, so let's start. If you're seated, you are going to make sure that your back is erect and your feet are touching the floor, palms like this, facing up, resting gently on your thigh. Good. And then just breathe naturally. And if you are able to lie down somewhere, that's the best. If you can, that's great. If not, no worries at all. Simply just breathe slowly and deeply. You can give a good exhale if you like. And now take a slow inhale, full exhale. Good. Take a slow, deep breath in. Feel the beautiful energies rising up into your nostrils, rising up into your scalp. Slowly exhale your breath, releasing all the excess unwanted energies that don't support you anymore. So now your feet are touching the floor. Great. Now you can start breathing slowly and deeply, visualizing your belly to be like a balloon that is deflated, as if you're blowing air into the balloon and noticing the belly increasing in size, expanding. Let it go up to full capacity, maximum. Now exhale, releasing the breath, letting go of anything you don't need. We've all had a day today, no matter which part of the world you are in. Many hours have elapsed already. So we're going to bring our awareness into the body. Taking a deep breath in, feel the beautiful energies coming in through your nostrils and slowly releasing it, feeling everything you don't need getting released, and you will start to feel vibrations in the body. We're already channeling, so you should feel vibrations in the body. They might be mild, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how mild it is, how full on it is, it doesn't matter. Just so long as you feel some kind of a movement or not, even if you don't feel it, it's fine. But know that something is happening. These are divine energies that are working with you, and they're coming in through your breath. So your breath is ongoing. Don't stop the breathing, please. You're breathing naturally and normally. And this beautiful energy comes in, absolutely gorgeous. And it has this light, like a glistening energy. So you notice that the stressors that you have been building upon within you, whether it's from today, whether it's from last week, whether it's from 2 days ago, whether it's just there, you just feel those energies somehow in you. Some of you are already empaths, those who are here, but also some of you who haven't made it to this podcast just yet, but you will listen to it at some point. And when you do find it, you are very likely to be empaths. You feel other people, you can sense other people's energies. And if you are one of them, you know how it impacts each one. You know how it impacts you. Sometimes we carry energies that don't even belong to us. We're carrying other people's energies in us, and they've stayed with us for a long time, despite how things are manifesting. So while we are feeling those energies within us, at this point, exactly at this point, something is happening where we are just letting go. And in so doing, these divine energies are working with you to simply detach it from your space and flush it out. And as it's flushing out, you will start to feel some kind of a release coming up. We are feeling already nauseous in this body. Nausea really determines what is it that you're carrying with you. And when we feel the nausea, we're actually extrapolating all the excessive energies that each one of you is holding and something you don't need access to anymore. They have overstayed their welcome. It's like a guest who's come and stayed for too long of a time, and they have overstayed the welcome. Now, these energies here are identifying some parts of your body, physically, emotionally, mentally, spiritually, and it's almost like it's going in there and it's pulling it out. It's like yanking it out, weeding it out. This weeding of these energies are coming out and they simply get released. And when you feel that release happening, it's a big let go. It's like you are letting it go. You are letting it go. You're saying, I am ready. I give myself permission to detach from anything I've been holding on to. Many a times, your mind feels the need to hold on to it, even though you know you don't want to hold on to it. So there's kind of a tug of war happening in some of you. It's a tug of war happening where you feel the need to, your mind says, I'm not ready to let go. Your body says, I am ready to let go. And you feel that tussle. And the tussle is happening. We feel it. It's showing up in your, right in your chest, right in your heart, in the under part of the heart. There's clogging of energies and you've held it there for a long time. Now, when I say you, the you is not just only you and some others, you and others on the platform, you and a lot of others. But then you have that connection to those others. And so now, these, as if you're dipping into that bucket, and in the bucket, there are some marbles in there. We're going into that bucket and we're pulling out those marbles. We can't see them. We just go in deeper, put our hand in there. We can touch the bottom of that bucket and we see these circle glass beads, glass marbles in there. And we're just randomly picking them up. And we're doing it at a rapid rate, a little faster too. And then very slowly. And as we are connecting to that, you will start to feel sensations in your feet, in the balls of your feet. You will feel some vibrations tingling there. You'll definitely feel something in your inner right side ankle, inner part of the ankle. There are two ankles, right side, left side. Right foot inside, left side, inner part. You'll feel some kind of a sensation there. And then as you're breathing in and out, also you're seeing, feeling, sensing a, a, a bluish light, like a globe. It's a minuscule globe that appears inside the body. And it's trying to just somersault. It's making those turns, back flips. And it starts to come up through the spine, back of the spine, and it's stopping in pivotal areas. We're feeling it stopping in the lumbar area, L5 area. And it's also stopping in it's going to go down again into the sacrum, S2. Then it's going to go up again into the thoracic, T6, T7. And then it's going to go up into C, cervical spine. We're going to go up into C1 and also C6 and C3. So there are these various areas where you feel like we hold energies there unknowingly. We hold energies there, and this is a trigger space where we feel when we are in these moments, it starts to hurt, quote unquote, a pain in the neck, just like that. There's a pain in the neck. You feel that energy. No pun intended. You feel the pain in the neck, and that neck, you can feel it now. It's on the left side. Looking at the C cervical spine, go to the left side, closer to C3, C3, C4 on the left side. It may feel a little bit heavier there. Then we're feeling that energy going into the left shoulder. And it goes into the chest and it quickly moves down. And we're going to go into the organs now. Different organs are also being worked through. And the tailbone, you may feel heat there. If you haven't already, you may already experience or feel pain or a little bit of heat there. Now, the right side, ankle, right side, right foot, right side, the outer part of the ankle, that also starting to activate a bit. We're zapping energy into it. It's going to calm it down. You may also feel the neck calming down and the back of the head right by the stem of the brain. That space also is simply calming down, relaxing. And yes, your breathing is ongoing. It hasn't stopped yet. You're still breathing, beautifully breathing. And this beautiful energy comes from the top. It's beautifully blue in color, and it's activating every area in the body. And you'll feel tingling sensations, vibrations. Shoulders are relaxing now. Abdomen is relaxing. Tailbone is relaxing. Spine is relaxing. Ankles, where you felt discomfort, simply dissipating. You might feel it dissipating, calming down. So relax your body. Just take slow, deep breaths. Inhale. Exhale. Again, inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Now breathe in 3 more times. We're asked to go into your eyes, temporal lobes, in the jawline. Maybe you clench your teeth a little too much. Left side of the knee, part of the knee that is to the left side of the left side. You may feel some pulsating effects, tingling sensation, pulsating pain. Okay. Now we're asked to simply just bring our awareness into the abdomen. Abdomen? Yeah, good. Solar plexus, sacrum. Any GI issues? It's balanced. As if somebody is taking a very, very, very wide paintbrush, dipping it in soppy paint, pulling the brush out of the paint. And it's wide, it's as wide as the whole expanse of your body. And now the paintbrush is brought up to your head, scalp, slowly coming down, one beautiful free stroke. And you're going to go all the way down to the feet and just let the energies roll down into the earth. And yes, you will feel tingling sensations in the left side of the waist, left side of the hip, spine. All right. Beautiful. You'll feel tingles, you'll feel heat, you'll feel coolness. It's just beautiful. Powerful energy. The moon is also collaborating with us at this point. And just feel it coming down. And we're just going to pause and just know that these energies will continue to work with you, each one, whoever is present, and those who will also listen later. Okay. So now slowly you can begin by awakening yourself by simply just wriggling your fingers ever so gently, wriggling your toes. Very slowly, as you feel the light, you feel the colors around your eyes. Very slowly please open your eyes and hold a soft gaze. Infinite blessings to each one. May unconditional love continue to grow within you. May you continue to receive it. May you continue to share that energy that you hold within you to everybody that needs it. Your loved ones, your family members, your friends, strangers, those that are suffering from illness, all those that are in other parts of the world dealing with social and political unrest, wars, famine, drought. The poor and the needy. Blessings to everyone. Thank you. Thank you.
Welcome back, Monica.
Thank you.
It was beautiful, as always.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right. Well, I think we will end our live here tonight, and I always appreciate your time and your energy, and thank you to the energies for showing up and being with us today.
Thank you, Wendy. Thank you for having us. So again, thank you so much.
And thank you for the thoughtful questions, everyone.
Yes, thank you. Thank you. Great questions, and hope that we were able to answer your questions. If not, you know how to reach us.
Until next time.
Till next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Blessings to you all. Thank you.